What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So as you guys know, I just talked about this a couple days ago. I've been going back on my videos and really looking at older iPhones and older phones in general and seeing which ones, you guys liked watching, and in some cases, which ones are still a very, very good value, and some highlights of all those phones. So I was looking at the iPhone 8 and I'm like, dude, after the iPhone 11 release, I'm like, this is still a very, very, very solid piece of technology. And I can just drop my phone, but a lot of that has to do with Apple still selling this phone. So you can still go into the Apple store and pick this phone up. It's not going to cost you $1 million or $1,000. It's going to cost you $499, which in my opinion isn't a bad deal for this device. It might look outdated, but in my opinion, I think this phone is still a gem. I think it's still worth picking up. No matter where your budget is, whether it's super high, super low, I think it's a very, very decent spot for this phone. And I think as a whole, if you're in the market for a phone, you should definitely consider this one. Now, the build quality is still very, very good in my opinion. Now, I think this phone feels more premium than the iPhone XR, and that has a lot to do with also, they share a lot of similarities, glass on the front, glass on the back. But the thing with the iPhone 8 is that the chassis of the phone, or the border around the phone, feels very, very good. I think it feels more like an iPhone XS and XS Max than it does on the iPhone XR. The iPhone XR's border feels more like iPhone 6s, iPhone 6 type of body. This one feels super premium, and when you're holding it in the hand, like I've said with similar phones, it doesn't feel like you have a cheap phone. The front also isn't an actual home button, so it is, but it's not an actual button, so it's just a vibration motor, so you don't get that loud clicky noise that you would normally get from a phone. It's just a vibration motor. It makes it feel that much better. So also, the software support, this thing is going to be lasting you for a very, very long time. I mean, we're talking years upon years. Now, it's kind of too early to say this, but there is a possibility that the iPhone 8 could probably last as long as the iPhone 10. Now, that's kind of out there. We don't really know 100% fact yet, but that's kind of a possibility. So kind of keep that in mind when you're looking at this device. But on top of that, the software support is going to last you a long time regardless whether it is as long as the iPhone 10s or not. This thing is going to get many, many years of support that even if you pick up like a Note 10 which just came out, the iPhone 8 could potentially just last as long as it in terms of software, or even outlast it, which is crazy. It's always crazy to see that type of, improvements in that type of field. So the software improvements right there alone, the software updates is worth plenty of money in my opinion. And the fact that you can get that type of software support on a device in this caliber and this price quality is amazing. Now, you're still getting like an awesome camera, even though it's a single sensor. It's still a very, very good single sensor. You can still do everything you need to with it. Film videos in 4K. I mean, it's a very good sensor. I think, with the telephoto lens, it would have been better or whatever, but I think this one is still very, very capable. And even though a phone like the iPhone 11 or whatever can take better photos, you still have a lot of capability with this camera. You have most of all the features that the newer cameras have. Obviously not the newest iPhone 11s, but with the XS and XS Max, you're really not gaining things from that as you are from here in terms of quality. Yes, the quality is better, but are you going to notice it on an every day-to-day basis? Probably not. I mean, I still think like the iPhone 6s camera is good. I think the SE's camera is good. So this is just like icing on top of the cake in my opinion. Also, it's kind of corny to say now, but this phone still has 3D touch, so you can go and force touch into something. It still has that capability. The iPhone 11s do not have that, but this phone does, so that's super cool. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say it's like the most groundbreaking feature ever, but it's a really cool thing to have, and it's much better than just having to long press on something and hoping it goes into the force touch panel or whatever. With iOS 13, they did change that, but with previous versions, if you long press on it, as you can see, this one is actually on iOS 11. If you long press on it, it just kind of goes, shakes the items around, you have to delete them. And this phone is still a super powerful device for all the apps that you want to run on it. Literally for like most of the speed tests that I've been doing, they've been pretty much consistent with a lot of my other iPhones as well, including the newer ones. Whenever I'm loading a game, whenever I'm really doing anything, very rarely do I see it glitch up. Sometimes you do see some glitch frames here and there. This one does have the Apple A11 chip, but it does have enough, specifications for me to make me feel comfortable using this device in my opinion. Are the newer devices faster? Absolutely, but that doesn't mean this one is, super slow. Just because those ones are faster, it doesn't mean this one is automatically just slow all of a sudden. Like, that's not how it works. So without a doubt, the speed and performance is still very, very good. You're just getting a very, very good package. Now, buying it brand new, I think is a decent option. I just don't think it's that good of a value brand new for $499. However, picking these things up in the used market, you can probably find one for like $300. I think this one just cost me like a couple hundred. It was less than $300, which is a pretty good value. So I'd really recommend you, if you're in the market for getting an iPhone 8, pick up a used iPhone 8. I think these things are very, very good values. These things are going to hold their value a lot better, I think, too, because Apple's still selling them for brand new. If you can pick one up for like $250, $300, you could probably resell that a year from now and not lose any money really at all, because Apple's still going to retain that $499 up until, I think, maybe if the iPhone SE2 comes out, but up until then, a used iPhone 8 is a very good price in my opinion, and I think it's a gem. I think it's worth it 100%, and I don't think this phone is going anywhere anytime soon. So that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions or anything, leave it down in the comment section below. Hit that like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys could hit that. Also, check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel. All those links are linked down below. I'd really appreciate it if you guys could check it out. But more importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.